Hello viewers, welcome to Way to Commerce. This is your Naveen Kumar. Today we are going to see a very important topic. It is business law for the degree BBA and also for the degree BCom students. It is really very helpful and unit wise important questions I am giving. So watch the full video, then you will understand. Thank you. Business law important questions. For exam point of view, unit wise important questions. First unit, here we are seeing first unit is Indian Contract Act. Indian Contract Act. In this first one, define contract, explain the essential features of a valid contract. So must learn the contract definition. In this, its features you have to learn. Next, explain the different types of contracts, and different types of contracts is there in the Contract Act that we have to explain. What is an offer? What are the essential elements or features of the valid offer? About the offer we need to write in this question. Offer and its features. Explain the essential of valid acceptance rules. Explain the essentials of valid acceptance rules. This is offer. Third one. Fourth one is acceptance. Fifth one, define consideration. Explain the essentials of a valid consideration. Consideration and its essentials. And here we can see the legal rules of the consideration, on which basis the consideration is there. Next, sixth one, state the exceptions to the rule no consideration, no contract. No consideration, no contract. Based on this rule, we have to explain the case. Discuss the rules of communication and revocation of offer and acceptance. Offer and acceptance. And eighth one, explain the modes of discharge of contract. Modes of discharge of contract. What do you mean by breach of contract? And state the different types of breach of contract, their remedies. And this is one of the important answer also. Okay, this one. Explain the significance of information technology. So this is additionally added. So this also we are expecting, information technology. And here one more, all contracts are agreements, but all agreements are not contracts. So this is also one of the important question. And this remedies for the contract, breach of contract, and all contracts are agreement, but all agreements are not contracts. Important one. And essential features of the valid contract also important one. These are the important questions in the first unit. Okay, and we'll see the second unit. In unit 2, Sale of Goods Act. Sale of Goods Act and Consumer Protection Act. Sale of Goods Act 1930 and Consumer Protection Act 1986. Okay, separate concepts is there. In this Sale of Goods Act, what is a sale? Explain the essentials of a valid sale. And what are the implied conditions and warranties as per the Sale of Goods Act and its differences. Difference between the conditions and warranties. This is one of the important answer also. Okay, and distinguish between the sale and agreement to sale. Sale and agreement to sale. This also sometimes they asked. This question also repeated. Who is unpaid seller and explain the rights of unpaid seller. One of the very important answer. Unpaid seller. who is unpaid seller, and explain the rights of unpaid seller. And what is the doctrine of Senvat emptor and its exceptions. Sometimes these questions they'll ask. What are the rights of consumer and write about the consumer protection councils. This is very very important answer for the consumer protection act, compulsory answer. And explain the working of district forum. This is also from both, anyone they will ask, compulsory. What are the rights of consumers and write about the consumer protection council. Three councils is there: state, district and national. National council, state council, district forum. These are the three levels. When the consumer is getting loss, he will get the justice from the consumer protection act. Okay, these three forums you have to explain, and 1986 act also you should explain in this. And working of the, see here, state, district, state and national commissions. For the consumer protection only they are working. Define the consumer, goods, service, unfair trade practices, restrictive trade, consumer disputes. And if they are not asking the about to, then they will ask this question. Okay, one consumer compulsory they will ask, and one sale of goods act is they will ask from the second unit. And we will see the now third unit. In third unit, intellectual property rights, intellectual property rights act. So this third unit, in this first one, what is a trademark, explain the procedure of registration and its infringement of remedies. Sometimes they will ask this trademarks question. It's a procedure of registration and its infringement of remedies. And explain the need and objectives of protection of intellectual property rights. And this is one of the very important answer. Important answer. Needs and objectives. Objectives many times repeated. Objectives of protection of intellectual property rights. And what is a patent right? Patent right. And explain the procedure for registration and infringement on remedies. Patent act also. The above is trademark. Second one is patent right. Next, write different types of recognized intellectual property rights. Different types of recognized intellectual property rights. And what are the types of patents? Types of patents. And what is transfer of patent rights and types of transfers. And sixth one, define copyrights, discuss the procedure for their registration and its infringement and remedies. From this infringement and remedies or registration procedure, anyone they will ask, because here copyrights is there, trademarks is there, patent rights is there, so they will ask anyone. Its procedure of registration and infringement and remedies they will ask. Okay, from this third unit. And we'll see the fourth unit. Define directors. In fourth unit, it is related to the company mainly, management of the company and its meetings, how the company is conducting the meetings, how the management is there, who is the participants in the management. You know the management means coordination, direction, organizing, managing, everything. Okay. Define directors. What are the qualification and disqualification of directors? One of the important answer it is qualifications and disqualifications. Explain various types of meetings held by the company. Different types of meetings company will conduct. What is the legal position of director and powers, duties and responsibilities of the directors? This is also one of the important answer. Define corporate social responsibility, write its activities and benefits. Sometimes they will ask this question. And what is meeting? What are the requisites of a valid meeting? So the valid meeting, sometimes they will ask this meeting. valid meeting question. Explain in detail provisions of loan to directors and their remuneration. Directors' remuneration and their loans. Define corporate governance. Explain its benefits. Corporate governance and its benefits. And what are the kinds of motion and resolution, and how a managing director appointed. So this is completely about the directors, their meetings, how they are conducting the meetings in the company, and their qualifications and their objectives, their remuneration, their duties and responsibilities, and corporate governance also. The important topics in this fourth unit mainly. And we will see the fifth unit, winding up of a company. Winding up of a company. Various modes of winding up of a company, different types of winding. How the methods is there, different types of methods. To close the company, when winding up of the company, different reasons is there, different methods is there. And the second one, explain the consequences of winding up of a company. And third one, what do you mean by winding up by the tribunal? And the circumstance, petitions and powers and tribunal. Explain the insolvency and bankrupt code 2016 1 BC. And what do you mean by voluntary wind up? Sometimes they will ask this voluntary wind up. Provisions with respect to the removal of name company from the register of a company. So this fifth question, one of the important one. This fifth question. And provisions with respect to the removal of a name of a company from the register of a company. If we want to remove the company name from the registration, so that procedure here in the sixth question. Seventh one, company liquidation. Liquidation also some of the important topic. Eighth one, company winding up of a company. A company when we winding up. So starting introduction, anyway you are learning for the long answer. This will cover in the short also. Okay, many long answers and short answers also mixed. This is the fifth unit, winding up of a company. Okay, this is the business law. 5 units, important questions, explanation.